Hello, welcome to Fit and Free with me, Auntie Angel here. I've been off the wagon, on the wagon. I'm not sure how that goes. I haven't been doing my exercises for a few days now. That's my confession to start with. But I like to say, as long as you're getting back on track, that's what matters, right? So here to get back on track and invite you to join me to whatever degree feels good in your body. I like to remind you there's not one way. You don't have to dress a certain way or build yourself a hand-built dome like the Head Hutt here in order to give yourself a little more love and self-care, and you're worth it. And if you don't do it, who's going to? Nobody else can take care of your body but you. So let's get to it. Today I'm going to try something new. I'm bringing you with me on my journey to get my yoga and my Yoda certification. Freudian slip there. Anyway, I am realizing that you probably can't read this because it's flipped around because of the whole camera thing, and I will work on that for the future. But I just wanted to share with you, that's what I'm going to be going off of today. I actually made myself some notes, which is, well, it's my first time putting them on a whiteboard, we'll say that. And yeah, I know it's messy and all that. It's okay. I am going to, in the spirit of working toward my level 1 yoga instructor certification, which I've been working on for over a year very passively. And I've studied yoga for decades passively and used to practice it more intensely. As I face the aging process more with more intensity and more rapid, increasing, what am I trying to say? Things are going faster and faster. I am finding that I keep coming back around to thinking I need to make yoga a bigger part of my life. So in that spirit, I intend to get my certification so that I can become a part-time instructor. I live near, not real near an airport, but near enough, obviously. Part of that certification is learning the Sanskrit words. And I'm not even sure all of these are the same ones like that one for downward facing dog. But in any case, I'm going to be muddling my way through it. And I thank you in advance for your patience with me, as I probably won't get them all pronounced correctly. And I'm going to be fumbling through a little more than I used to. Hopefully that will get better with time. The poses I'm going to be doing, and I'm probably going to change the order just a little bit. I've picked these because they are particular for digestive health, particularly piles and aroids. I wrote pilar instead of piles. Anyway, if you don't know what those are, then consider yourself lucky. And if you do, then you might be interested that there are ways that you can decrease the frequency with which you have digestive disorders of all sorts. And there's a big connection between stress and the gut and our digestive health, as I'm sure most of you are aware. So just wanted to give you that background of why I chose these, and today, and also so that I can be working on the floor in camera for you. I'm going to be doing cat-cow poses, which is Marjarasana and Bittilasana. Downward facing dog, which I do a lot, but I'm unfamiliar with the Sanskrit word, which is Adho Mukha. Child's pose, which is a nice resting pose. Balasana. Supine twist, which is also a fairly restful pose. Supta. Matsyasana asana. That was a tough one. Bridge pose. That's a tough one to do, but I'm adding it because I need the challenge because I've been slacking, like I mentioned. Setu Bandha Saravang asana. That's a long one. And extended puppy pose. Uttana Shishosana. That one I haven't done in a long time or on my own, to be honest with you. So I'm going to fumble my way through it and then watch the video and probably see lots of errors and mistakes. But one of the things I like to model for you is that, again, as I said, there's not one way, that you don't need to be perfect, that learning to communicate with your own body and dedicating yourself to being more fit so that you can be more free is an ongoing process. You start where you are and you aim for just a little bit better, and you don't compare yourself to others except for in ways that inspire you and help motivate you, if that makes sense. So with the spirit of courage, curiosity, and compassion, let's get to these poses. I was going to put these back here, but I don't think you're going to be able to read them in any way, shape, or form. So I'm going to put them down here so I can see them. And I didn't do any real warming up, so that's not good modeling, but that's how it's going to go today. And I'm going to start in a tabletop pose, which is knees under hips, hands under shoulders, relatively flat back, feet relaxed behind, and looking for like a tabletop on the top of the body, energy going out the top of the head and out the tailbone. And from here, I'm going to do some cat-cow poses, Marjaryasana and Bitalasana. And I'm going to do them in flow with the breath without talking you through them today because I've already talked a lot. So, not sure. I'm going to begin with an exhale, and then I'm going to have to switch that in a cat. Yeah, I think I got to switch that. It's good to play with breath in both directions. Cat-cow is one of these sequence of poses that I would say if you're only going to do a couple things in a day or 3 things in a day, I would do cat-cow and squats. If you can. Of course, that can vary depending on who you are and how you are and all those things. I'm going to come back to tabletop. And I'm going to tuck the toes under, lift the knees, and come into downward facing dog. Pushing through the palms, fingers are wide, pushing through the spine, into those heels, and tipping the tailbone. Ooh, I'm stiff. And see if I can get my glasses in front of my face. Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha. I'm going to do some treading of those heels, alternating, a little bit of variation in this pose, just to take advantage of it while I'm here. And thankfully, I'm feeling much better today than I was the last couple days, so I gave myself extra rest instead of extra reps, which was hard to do, much harder than reps for me, but needed and well received in my body, so happy about that. I think we forget that rest is an important component, recovery and rest. All right, I'm gonna bring these knees down and come into child's pose to give my wrists a break, and that's just relaxing down with the butt down over the knees, sometimes letting the heels fall away, and then often bringing the arms to either side of the legs to touch in with my feet a little bit. Forehead on floor, or you can turn to one side or the other. And just relax and breathe there for a few breaths. And then bringing the arms forward, I'm going to come into that extended puppy pose from here, which I haven't practiced as much, but I believe I'm making like a 90-degree angle from my lower legs and at my hips, tilting that tailbone a little bit, and then stretching out to the front with my hands. I'm going to bring my face toward the floor, getting a nice stretch through those. For me, that's a stretch in the shoulders mainly, a little bit through the back. This again is my uneducated version of extended puppy pose, or Uttana Shishosana. That's fun to say, if you can say it. And then I'm going to come up from here onto my knees and come into the bridge pose, or Setu Bandha Saravangasana. And I'm going to be reaching one at a time, hand for heel and the other one, and then supporting the head with the neck and really pushing forward in the hips. I haven't been practicing this one, so I'm sure it's not a good demonstration, except it's a good demonstration of doing it anyway. Make sure and be careful with your neck there. Mine's talking to me, as are my shoulders, so I'm going to give myself just a little bit of love on that one. And whew. I'm going to come on down to a seated position and then onto my back for a supine twist, or Supta Matsyendra Asana. So coming down, relaxing first. You can actually, we come through the corpse pose and just lay here for a few breaths. My arm got tweaked there, so I'm gonna just send it a little love. Relax the body. I like to, from here, kind of pull with the flap my feet like this and see if I can get my spine a little more aligned and kind of relax the body. And then again, relax, can flap the feet, rotate the ankles. And then bringing one leg up. I'm gonna do a little stretching first before I get into this last pose, a spinal twist. Let's give that ankle an extra rotation. I got neighbors with fun four-wheelers, even though I live in the city. It's Albuquerque. It's the biggest small town you ever been to, they say. Rotating on the other side now, just loosening up. Could do a little more loosening up on that hip. Trying to let my shoulder relax. I'm going to bring both knees up now. And just hold on to those knees for a few breaths. Let's just warm up the spine with a little rocking. I like to massage the back of my love handles or tailbone with this motion. I can't quite see myself there. I got a box in the way. I think I'm in the right spot. And then at a little bit of a longer angle, so making kind of 90-degree angles, pressing that low back into the floor. And I'm going to slowly, I'm going to reach out. I'm hitting the wall over here, but I'm going to reach out as far as I can to anchor myself on the opposite side. So I'm reaching to the left and letting my knees drop to the right, twisting through the spine. I like to do it nice and slow, but if you don't have the abdominal strength to do it slow, then just go over with support of your arm. You know, don't hurt anything. It's not the point. And for me, I'm pretty flexible even when I'm stiff, so sometimes I'm going to add a little variation by straightening that bottom leg more and bringing that top leg over a little bit further. Get a deeper twist there. just wringing out all the organs. Again, it's a fairly restful pose, supine twist, Supta, Matsyender Asana. Matsyender Asana. I think I was saying that incorrectly. Could we just call it Supta? I'm bringing myself back to center. And I'm going to do just a little circling here on that low back because that feels good. And the other way. I know my glasses are doing weird things. I'm trying to read and see and do yoga all at the same time. So then now reaching my right arm to the right and dropping my knees to the left. Again, use support if you need to. It's totally fine. The point is really in this twisting stretch, a nice relaxing stretch. Just relax into it. Find a comfortable place for your body there. And again, if you want to increase that twist a little bit, you can straighten that bottom leg and bring that top leg over a little bit more. Still trying to drop that this shoulder, opposite shoulder to the opposite side. Giving a nice twist through the spine, wringing out all those organs. Saying hello to the digestive tract. Giving it a nice friendly hug. I think it's important. This kind of yoga is important not only because it moves around our midsection and our digestive organs, but also because it helps reduce stress. And stress is one of the biggest causes of indigestion and piles and hemorrhoids and fissures and all sorts of fun things I've been reading about. So I hope that you are finding ways to manage stress, because all other things aside, if we're not managing stress, and there's more and more on the way, then everything else kind of falls away. Like I said earlier, if you don't have your health, wealth is worthless, right? So again, thanks for coming to Stretch and Strengthening with Auntie Angel. That's me. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what I'm doing and you want to support me. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you noticed how many words I could give me a count on how many Sanskrit words I mispronounced. And stay curious, stay courageous, stay free. Ciao for now.